Traders, welcome back to the channel. Today we are covering SNDL Sundial, and this is not a long-term trade, so don't get it messed up. This is going to be a shorter-term trade, if not a swing trade. Now, what I like about Sundial is that it's coming down to that local bottom around $1. I'm going to do the chart analysis on it and give you a little bit of the fundamentals, but the fundamentals, in my opinion, are not important right now. So do not get too confused on that. If you're interested in joining the Discord and seeing every single trade that I'm in every single day, the link is down below. But let's not waste any more time. Let's get to it. Alright, so as we get into the video, I'm going to cover a few of the fundamental things going on right now and kind of the stupidity with the real market and the sentiment behind the media, because the logic is just flawed. So everyone's saying, why is Sundial dropping 15% in March? Well, I can kind of tell you why if we go over to the chart. I can tell you why. Sundial's been on a clear downtrend, but guess what it's following? The index that it remains in, which is the Nasdaq. So as we look at the Nasdaq, over the past few weeks, the Nasdaq's been in a clear downtrend, if that makes sense. We've been clearly just coming down, flatlining tech. Everything's being killed. Even through the legalization in New York, everything's beginning shredded. But the past 2 days going into April have looked very promising, and this is where my thesis lies. Let's look at Sundial and look at the chart pattern. Now, everyone likes to say charting doesn't matter, but let me tell you something. Yes, it does. As we look at the chart, I believe we're getting a bear flag, but I'm not too bearish on the chart as we're looking at it. Yes, we are getting the flag, as we can see here. I do believe we're going to get a breakdown, and this is where my entries lie. There's a breakdown back to this level. This has been the buy zone the entire time when it comes to Sundial. I believe $1 is about fair value, maybe down to 95 cents. They have a lot of cash on hand. They are ready for some big news. They are ready for an acquisition, and that's kind of the play here. I do believe $1 to 95 cents is a good play. Fundamentally, the company sucks. They aren't really bringing in money. They have room for expansion. They're talking about expansion, but why expand when you suck at what you're doing right now? That just doesn't make sense. Getting a larger market share is not going to help your company at all if you suck at where you're at right now. And that's just the reality of the company. But can you make money on the stock? Yes, you can. They have no debt. That's a positive. Tons of cash on hand for an acquisition. That's a positive. So they have the potential for a major catalyst, and that's what I'm focusing on right now, and that's why I like them. So I think they're going to have a little bit of a move down, maybe to this $1. I'd even push up maybe to a $1.04 range. That's where I potentially like my entries. But after this, I would suspect to start seeing an uptrend back up. Now, where do I suspect to take profits? Where am I looking to take profits? Again, I am not a greedy trader. I like to be very conservative with my entries and be very conservative when it comes to taking my profits. So what I'm looking at as level 1 to take my profits is going to be the $1.40 range right here. And then let's say that I'm pushing my boundaries. I'm thinking the market looks absolutely strong. I think there's major catalysts for the marijuana industry in America, and I think that there's more legalization coming. I'm holding all the way up, maybe possibly to 170. That's where I got out previously. So there is potential to break below $1.40, but I'm not taking that risk right now. Although I believe the $1 to 95 cent area is a very lucrative spot to be looking to add some profits or add some actual entries. Sorry for the confusion, not profits, getting in entries, and then we'll be making profits in the coming weeks. So that's what I like. And then this area right here being your second level of support, that's why it feels so safe right now with Sundial. But as a long-term pick, that's not what this is. This is going to be at most a swing trade, if not a shorter term trade, because I do think we're going to start getting some volume after we hit this level and then start kicking back up. I think it's going to happen very quick. But let's take a really quick look at the OBV and certain levels that I've had marked. So this is something I like. We have been consolidating in this range ever since that major push up, uptick, down, down, down. So what we want to see when we get into our position is holding of this level. If we do not hold this level, this would be terrible. So let's say I get in. What would be a confirmation for me to potentially exit the trade and just take the loss? If we break through this OBV level, we have held this for roughly going on 2 months now. That's going to be pretty key. And I don't think we're going to break it instantly, but it's going to take a little bit of time. If we start to break below this level, there's a high possibility we see a downtrend start to form. And I don't want to be in Sundial long-term at all. Like I said, shorter-term trade, shorter-term trade, shorter-term trade. But there's obviously some potential here. And that's what I'm doing on this channel. I am highlighting stocks that have potential and have very good potential with very low risk based on where they are on the chart. And Sundial is not moving yet. We like to get into stocks that are lagging behind the stock market and have major room to go up. So we're looking for about a 10 to 8% drop in price, and then we're looking to enter and ride to the $1.40 range. If we hit that $1.40, that'd be more than enough profits for me without any type of leverage, without any type of options. You're sitting at about 40% profits, and let me just tell you something. That's a good trade for me. We're going 1, 2, whatever that type of time period that is. I love what I'm seeing there. So I do think that is a very possible. I think it's very likely. So what you're looking for, again, let me just slow this down and say to you very quick before we get it out of here. So what I'm suspecting, let's get rid of the flag as well. I'm expecting this VWAP to start coming down as well, trend below the VWAP. The price action, after this gets above and mounts above the VWAP is when we'll start to see that trend, the trend flip back to the bullish thesis, pushing back up to the $1.40 range. That's what we did before, as you can see right here. So as we zoom in right here on our last touch of this monthly level, you see we pushed down to $1, came right back up, got above the VWAP, and it was all uphill from there. We just kept trending, and that's how it worked, right? And then we even touched that bottom level of support, give or take right there, very close, a little bit, not too much touching it, but it was very close. And then we retested that local top range as well. So that's what I'm suspecting. What are the bad signs you want to be looking out for? You want to make sure we hold above this 35 level. That's what we want to hold on the OBV. This is the 15-minute chart, by the way. So that's what we want to see. Also, if you keep seeing the Nasdaq performing well, that's going to be another sign to make sure that Sundial looks very good. There is a chance going into Monday that the Nasdaq could slow down. It's always a possibility. I suspect the Nasdaq and indexes remain looking very strong. We'll have to see Monday morning. But if the Nasdaq remains strong and Sundial remains a little bit consolidating on the downside, I like it. I'm going to be smashing that buy button, and I'm going to be riding this up to the $1.40 range, you can bet. All right, so wrapping up my thoughts on Sundial. Obviously, short term, I love this stock. I think there's massive room to go up. I think there's about a 40% price range to start increasing to that $1.40 range. Now, we're sitting at $1.10. I'm expecting a little bit of an influx wave to the downside to $1, maybe even 95 cents, being very, very conservative at that level. On the long-term time frame, I do not like Sundial. Their financials look terrible. They're not profitable. They don't have debt, which is positive, but they failed to keep making that acquisition to really push them over the top to get something going. They talk about expansion, but they're not doing well where they're at now. So what makes them think that they're going to do better if they expand? That doesn't really make too much sense. So that's my thoughts on Sundial. Short-term, love them. Long-term, I'm not a big fan. If you're new to the channel, I'm brutally honest when it comes to stocks. I'm not going to say things to get viewers. I'm not going to say things just so you're happy or comfortable with your stocks. I will make bearish videos on stocks. I will tell you a stock looks like trash. Sundial right now is a trash stock, but you can still make money on a trash stock. That's what it is. Now, if you want to see some longer-term investments, check out the previous video to this one going over Root Insurance, and I'm telling you, that is my top stock potentially of 2021. I just ran across it. The numbers are there. The short interest is sky high. This stock is being so overlooked and so undervalued. It is absolutely absurd. So make sure you check out that video. Like, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good one, boys. Namaste.
Check.